Hello friends, it's XD here, and in this video I want to talk about bass lines. There is a trick I usually use in my bass lines where, let me play a bass line for you. Now when I made this, I felt like the bass is cool, it's following the key of, the pad and all the, the little plucks I have in there and everything, but it didn't feel complete to me. So I thought, okay, let me add more notes or whatever, but then it still didn't feel right. So then I thought of something. I was like, what if I play with the switches that I have here? Now some of these VSTs and plugins might intimidate you when you look at them. Like when you open, you're like, oh, there's all these knobs and stuff, but then it's all basically simple stuff. What you don't understand, don't touch, leave it alone, unless you go and research on it, and then you can know what it is. Every one of your favorite plugins or whatever comes with basic things like a filter or an amp or some effects, whether it be reverb or whatever, or an EQ itself. So it's things you can also look out, simple things you just look out for. So what I've actually done with this is I did some automation. I automated the cutoff time. I automated the cutoff here, and I'll just play it back for you so you can hear how it sounds. Now that is sick. I love that. As soon as I did that, I was like, why haven't I been doing that to all my beats, to all my bass lines? Of which the answer to that is not, it doesn't work on everything. Sometimes, your bass line just needs to stay simple and just be bass, because this kind of gives it a more dubsteppy feel, and, has that, that moving, that kind of dubstep wobble. It is great for this track because it kind of has that low speed pace, and then it works with the bass because my bass was just sustaining the whole way. It wasn't even cutting off, as you can see. It's just sustaining, it's not moving. So I thought just drawing these out and then having it move around just takes it to a whole new different level. So play around with the effects. Now what I love about Massive is that it already has some macro controls when it comes to its presets. It has these great macro controls over here, because sometimes when you just end up on this page, you don't see these things, of which there is a filter here and a second filter for you, but sometimes it just intimidates you. But if you go to the browser already here, you have some macro controls you can play with and automate, so you can get great sounds out of your plugins and just make your sounds move to get better bass lines, better leads, and better sounds. So I did the same technique on a second sound I have here. What I did was that I just raised the LFO speed. I just made the LFO speed to just go up in time as it's playing. If you check my LFO speed here, starts off over here. Just to give it that uplift, when it comes when it's getting to the building up to a hook, or from the hook to the verses, but just to give it that difference instead of just being the same sound over and over again. Sometimes you must just use these tools and make your bass lines or your leads and your sounds just feel way better than they do on their own, just sustaining. It's boring, man. This is the future. Let's do some futuristic sounding sounds. So that's it for me. It's just a tip I wanted to share with you guys that you can apply in your bass lines. And you can do this with any VST, because most VSTs have these controls, whether it be a cut off of a filter or just a LFO. So that's it for me on this video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and let's talk about different ways to make your bass interesting in the comments below, and just let me know what you think about playing around with automation on basses, making them sound kind of dubsteppy instead of just sustaining.